Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on another video of mine. As always, I appreciate you guys. If you're new here, hi there, my name is Rosie. Welcome to my page. Welcome to my channel. Good to have all of you guys here today. So I wanted to go ahead and do a video just doing like a Q&A. February is my hair anniversary month. It's been 3 years since I've been on my natural hair journey. It's so exciting to just even say that because I have been through so much with my hair. So to be able to just see myself in this time is just very exciting. The exact day of when I started my journey, it just kind of varies because I knew in February of 2017 was when I just kind of decided that I was just gonna jump full force into it. So yeah, I just celebrate the entire month of February as my hair anniversary month. And a while back, I did ask you guys on my Instagram page. If you do not follow me there, I'll go ahead and link that down so you can. I asked you guys what was some of the challenges, what hair questions you guys had, because, to me, it's really important that I am being a support system and helping you in any which way that I can. So you guys send me a bunch of your questions. So I wanted to go ahead and do a video and answer some of your questions to better assist you in your journey. So yes, let's go ahead and get started. Before we do, if you are not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, that way you're always alerted when I post a new video. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I have my iPad right here with your questions. Question number 1, what are some hairstyles or things you did with your hair throughout your transition? Thank you for your question. Honestly, when it comes to hairstyles, I didn't really experiment a lot with hairstyles. I didn't really know what was going on with my hair. I knew that it was growing and I knew that eventually I had to let go of the dead ends. But when it came to hairstyle, I pretty much just left my hair alone. The only hairstyle that I did throughout that year that I was transitioning is I just did low buns. I did low buns, middle part, side part. That's what I did with. That was the best way that I can go ahead and just kind of hide the hair that was damaged. And eventually I went ahead and I bought curly clip-ins from AliExpress. My best friend helped me buy them, and we kind of got the texture that we thought that I was gonna get. But I did the curly clip-ins. I watched some video on YouTube on how to do high buns, and I went ahead and I did that style, like if I was going out to brunch or something like that, just because I love high buns. So that was pretty much it. That was all that I did. And aside from that, I just, I went ahead and I developed my hair regimen and just made sure that I was washing weekly, I was conditioning, I was deep conditioning weekly, and just moisturizing it, and then just putting it in a bun until, the following Sunday. It was pretty boring, to be honest with you, having the same hairstyle day after day after day. But at the end of the day, I was just kind of focused on the bigger picture. So I really didn't care. I just thought as long as I look presentable, then I'm okay with it. So that's pretty much what I did while I was transitioning. Okay, next question. After the big chop, was your hair long enough for styles? Did you use protective styles? So when I did the big chop I did February of 2018. In regards to protective styles, after I had cut my hair, I had enough hair for me to do a really cute high puff, and it was perfect. And I still couldn't do like a high bun, but what I would do is I would just kind of like tuck the curls to make it look like a bun, if that makes sense. That was it. I was really happy that I made it. But I really loved the way the high puff looked on me, just because, I would have sometimes like the curls kind of like come out a little bit, and then I would just kind of manipulate it just to make it look even higher. So I was really happy with that. But again, in 2018, after I did the big chop, high puffs were my only to-go style. And again, I really loved it. I liked how I looked. Sometimes I would make it even look higher. You know, I just kind of had my own little method, but I felt comfortable with that hairstyle. So that's pretty much the hairstyle that I rocked. I just didn't put too much focus on hairstyle one week, hairstyle the other week, because I just thought that that was too much. But, you know, that was just my preference. You know, you're more than welcome to do whatever it is that you feel comfortable with your hair. But after a big chop, I was just happy that I did it. I was happy that I was only dealing with one texture, because you guys know dealing with that two texture, it can be very overwhelming. So I was just very excited about this next phase in my hair journey, and I just kept it simple and just did high puffs. Okay, next question says, is stretching your natural hair with bands a healthy way of drying your hair without heat? I do band my hair when I do my wash and goes. I just did this wash and go. I love the results. I use Uncle Funky's daughter for this amazing result. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and band it at night and put my scarf. That way the next day I can just go ahead and take the bands out and my curls still look really good. Because if I pineapple it, then it's just gonna be harder to just kind of bring the hair back down. It's gonna be a lot of manipulation that I have to do, and that eventually is going to go ahead and create more frizz. So that I would consider that a healthy way of drying your hair. I don't really use heat at all. You know, I never plan on straightening my hair, no flat, none of that stuff. I already know what I look like with straight hair. I'm past that. I'm never gonna do that. But the only time I do use heat is, you know, when I'm deep conditioning with heat. I expressed to you guys on my page that, you know, you wanna deep condition with heat because, you know, that way your hair follicles can open out so the deep conditioner can better penetrate in your hair. And then of course, when I do my wash and goes and I stretch out my curls for a little bit of length and stuff like that, I will use low heat, but that's pretty much it. Next question says, what has been your biggest challenge throughout your natural hair journey? Really good question. My biggest challenge, to be honest with you, it's just been being patient. I can be a little impatient sometimes, but just being patient and trusting the process, because I've been doing this for 3 years, 3 very long years. So I've had to really have a lot of pep talk with myself and be like, Rosie, you're doing it. You got to stay consistent. You got to be patient with yourself. So, you know, you can't really rush this. You know, I do see a lot of curl beauties that, you know, get frustrated and they go back to the old ways and, you know, they give up too soon. And it's like, you really have to be patient with this, because you're going to go ahead and put in the work week after week after week after week, and you're really not going to see those results right away. It just, you know, I wish it was that easy. And I know with me, you know, when I was transitioning and the months was going by, it was exciting to see that my curls were coming in, but I still look like a hot mess, you know, and I just had to really stick with it and just really be patient with it. And I know in 2017 I started my hair journey, but I was going through other stuff too. You know, I had switched jobs. I was in grad school. I was in my last year of grad school. And I was also, I did my Invisalign. I did my Invisalign journey. You know, I was working on fixing my teeth, and, you know, I was doing that as well too. So those other 2 things occupied my time as well. So it was just kind of like a lot going on. But, you know, I stayed patient. I was going to therapy. That was very helpful. And I wrote a lot in my journal, you know, and I would always go back and reflect, especially on days when, you know, I didn't feel good about myself, or I just kind of felt like this was pointless. You know, going back to my journal and reading my thoughts and how I feel about things really helped, you know, really helped me stay consistent. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned is just patient, just being patient with yourself, being patient with your journey, and, you know, trusting the process and knowing that if you know, stay consistent, you'll definitely get the results that you're looking for. Next question says, how did your hair grow fast? It didn't, sis. it did not grow fast. It's been 3 years, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, being consistent, being very, very disciplined. You have to hold yourself accountable, because if you're not doing the work, then you're really not in the place to be complaining. But yeah, 3 years was exactly that, 3 years. So next question says, what type of bonnet do you use? I just buy the bonnet from the beauty supply store, from my local beauty supply store. It's this leopard one right here. I love leopard. So yeah, so what I do at night is I just go ahead and wrap it up in a scarf, and then I'll go ahead, because my hair is longer, I'll go ahead and put this on top. This stays pretty secure. This was like, what? I think this was maybe $2. But yeah, my local beauty supply store, a bunch other, but this is like my to-go one. Next question says, how often should I scalp massage a week? Really good question. When I discovered the importance of massaging my scalp, I started doing it about 3 to 4 times a week. You know, I would not be excessive with the oil. You know, take a good size amount and, you know, just kind of like massage it and throughout your scalp. But yeah, I would say about 3 to 4 times a week. You know, don't want to be too rough with your scalp, but you definitely want to go ahead and massage it. Definitely don't ignore your edges, but about, I would say 3 to 4 times a week. Now, because I have a better understanding of my hair can take oil. So, you know, sometimes I will do it almost every day, about maybe 5 to 6 times a week, and I never have any issues with my hair. But that's just me. I would definitely just test it out and see how your hair reacts to the oil, and, you know, try to be consistent with that. And with me, you know, when I do my scalp massages, you know, I'm always very mindful of, you know, the products that I'm applying in my hair. And then I also have set in stone the day that I'm going to go ahead and wash my hair, because, you know, I try to be very mindful when it comes to product buildup, because, you know, then my scalp starts itching and things starts getting flaky. But yeah, I would say start off with 3 to 4 times a week, see how your hair reacts to that, and then you can bump it up if you feel like your hair will be okay. Or if it's too much, you can go ahead and just maybe do it a couple of times a week and then test that out and see if that works. All right, next question. How often should I moisturize and seal throughout the week? So honestly, it just really depends how you styled your hair on wash day. So for me, you know, if I do a wash and go, you know, that's my hairstyle for the week. You know, I made sure that I used a thick cream, I used a gel, you know, all the things that I need to use to just kind of make sure that my hair is going to stay moisturized and hydrated throughout the week. Now, before I do go to work, you know, I do examine my hair. I try to see, you know, if I have any pieces that are looking frizzy, or, you know, if I need, or if it needs a boost of moisture, then I will go ahead and add a cream, you know, spritz it with some water first, you know, add a cream, and then just maybe add some gel in the pieces that I want to go ahead and just kind of like clump together, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like the method that I take. Now, if on wash days, if I decide that I don't want to do a wash and go, and I just go ahead and just do like 2 little pigtails and add some cream to it, and then in the morning when I go to work, I go ahead and let it out and just put it in a bun. You know, that evening before I wrap up my hair, I go ahead and I examine my hair. I see how it's looking. If I feel like it's looking like it's dry, then I'll go ahead and just kind of like section and 4, add some cream, moisturize it, seal it with an oil, and then put, you know, put my bonnet. And then in the next day before I go to work, I examine my hair, see how it took that moisture, and then I'll just add some gel and I'll go ahead and head to work. And, you know, when I come home from work, I'll do the same thing. So it just varies. You know, it's really important that, you know, you are checking in with your hair, you're examining your hair, seeing how your hair feels. Does it look dry? Does it look like it needs to be moisturized? When was the last time that I moisturized it? And I try to keep my hair on a schedule, but more importantly, before I go to bed, I always check in with my hair, see how it's doing, and see what it needs, you know, because your hair does tell you what it needs. You know, it doesn't speak to you, but it'll show when it's time for you, when it's time for you to moisturize it, you know, by it feeling dry or it frizzing up and stuff like that. So definitely just check in with your hair and see. I would say anywhere between 3 to 4 times, you know, depending, you know, what your hair needs. I know for me, when I don't do my wash and goes and I just leave it alone and I just do a bun, I really need to upkeep my moisturizing regimen, because if I don't, my hair will frizz out, and then that's when then it'll just become very dry. And that's when I'll start dealing with knots and stuff like that. And then if I neglect it when it comes to wash day, you know, I'm going to be a minute when it comes to pre-pooing, because I neglected my hair throughout the week, and now I have all these knots and I have to be gentle, and it's just a longer process. Next question says co-washing. So with co-washing, I used to co-wash a lot when I was transitioning in 2017, just because it was easier, you know, especially like in the summertime. I would come home from work and it'd be so hot, and it'd just be nice to just be able to take a nice shower and be able to wet my hair and stuff like that. So I would co-wash, and you know, back then it was just a little wash. My wash day routine was a lot simpler, just because, you know, I didn't have all this hair. I was dealing with the 2 textures, but you know, co-washing wasn't bad. Nowadays with co-washing, I don't do it as often. I rarely do it. You know, I'll do it once in a while. When I catch myself maybe on day 3, day 4 hair, and I'm like, you know what? I have the time, I can go ahead and co-wash it, add some much needed moisture, then I'll go ahead and do that. But with co-washing, you know, wash days is just a very long process for me. And it takes me the entire day. And unfortunately, I just don't really have the time during the week to co-wash. I would love to, but I really don't have the time for it. I do recommend co-washing if you do have the time for it. And more importantly, if you feel like your hair would benefit, you know, from co-washing, definitely try it out. But yeah, I just don't really have the time for it. So that's why I make it a priority on Sundays to always wash. You know, if I decide to stretch my hair regimen for a couple of more days, you know, I definitely go in and moisturize it and make sure that I'm just being as gentle as possible. So on wash day, I'm not dealing with a lot of dryness and knots. All right, next question says, how can I protect it when I'm on the beach? Good question. Let's see. So I don't really get in the water here in New York. You know, the beaches are not bad. It's just I would not dunk my head in that water. But last summer I went to Puerto Rico, and you know, I had my hair out actually, and I did dunk my head in the water. But what I did is just, you know, I just went back to the hotel, I washed it, I added a bunch of conditioner, and then I just kind of left it in a low bun. I would say, you know, the best approach when it comes to, you know, if you're going to the beach and stuff like that, you know, put it in a protective style. Just that way you can just kind of prevent, you know, from sand getting in your hair or getting tangled. Do braids, that's another option. I think next time when I go on vacation, I'll probably just kind of like do a protective style. That way I'm not dealing with my hair. I did notice, you know, in Puerto Rico, I had to like wash my hair and stuff like that. I didn't plan that very well. But yeah, I would say do a protective style just to kind of, you know, spend less time with your hair and more time on the beach. All right, next question says, how can I make it grow faster, please? There's no way to make it grow faster. You know, you just have to be patient, have to be consistent, have to be disciplined. That's the best advice I can give anyone. You know, it's the same approach that I took. You really can't fast track this journey. If you try to, it will fail on you because you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And yeah, I would just say have patience with yourself and have patience with your journey. It's really the only way you're gonna be able to make it. Next question says, hey, how has your curl pattern changed so much? Thanks. I would say that my curl pattern definitely changed. I know that when I big chopped in 2018, my curls were a lot looser. They definitely did not look like this, like they look now. They were a lot they were a lot looser. So I was under the assumption that, you know, in regards to hair type, and again, I would use hair type to have a better understanding of how to take care of my hair. I thought I was in the 3B, 3C range. But just over time, as the months went by and I was consistent with my regimen, I saw that my curls, you know, were definitely getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And this is what it is now. So yeah, my curl pattern, has definitely changed. It's been great just to see the evolution of my hair and just how far I've come. But yeah, it's changed. Didn't really mind it. I just kind of thought, you know, I'm definitely doing something right because I'm really taking care of my hair. I'm nurturing it. So this is just, you know, this is my hair. Next question says, could you detail what products and regimen you use while transitioning? Thanks. I actually have a video here on my channel, just kind of highlighting my tips to transitioning to natural. And then I have another video just kind of highlighting how I created my hair regimen. I'll go ahead and I'll link that down below. Those are like the first 2 videos that I posted when I started my page. They are pretty long, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, I'm very detailed. I like to outline things. I like to be very precise. So definitely take some time to watch it. You know, if you have any additional questions and stuff like that, you're always more than welcome to hit me on Instagram, or you can just go ahead and leave your questions down in the comments below so I can go ahead and respond to you. Next question says, after 3 months that I don't use relaxers, can I have a big chop? That's entirely up to you, you know, however it is that you want to move forward in your journey. The one thing that I will say, you know, before you big chop is, you know, really make sure that this is something that you're going to be consistent with and that you're really going to follow through with. I know for me, you know, I was sure that I wanted to go natural, but I was not sure when I wanted to go ahead and do the big chop. You know, originally I told myself that I was never going to chop my hair and my hair is going to have to grow out to the length that it was, and then I would cut whatever is left over. That was the approach that I took, that I was going to take at the beginning. I big chop after a year, but it's only because I felt comfortable with the amount of growth that I had, and more importantly, I was ready to let go of the hair. You know, I always tell you guys, when it comes to your journey, you know, don't rush yourself. You know, don't worry about what the next person is doing. Don't worry about what this person looks like. You know, worry about yourself, worry about your journey, and do things at your own pace. You know, don't listen to anybody. I didn't listen to anybody. I listened to myself. I took it upon myself to do research. I took it upon myself to stay consistent, and I did things at my own pace. And I feel like I was successful with my journey because I took my time with everything, you know, especially when it came to cutting. You know, I had cut a few times before I actually did the big chop. But again, you know, that was a decision that I made for myself. You know, I did it when I felt ready, when I felt comfortable, and that's how I decided to proceed. So I would just say, you know, just do it whenever you're ready. If you feel like you're ready after 3 months, you know, kudos to you. Definitely move forward with it, but do things at your own pace. Okay, my last question says, my hair is very short and I can't really twist it at night. What should I do at night? Honestly, I would just make sure that your hair is moisturized. Get yourself a nice scarf to wrap it and just leave your hair alone. Also, make sure you're doing scalp massages, you know, to help promote hair growth. But, you know, if you're not able to twist it, let your hair be, let your hair grow, let it do its thing. Be there for your hair, just nurture it, make sure that you're providing the things that you need to provide it so it can grow. And over time, you'll see your hair grow. But yeah, I would just let it be. Okay, that is all of your questions. This was actually a lot of fun. I love doing Q&A. If you guys have any additional questions, definitely leave them down in the comments below so I can go ahead and engage with you. If you prefer to talk privately, definitely understand. You can go ahead and send me a message on Instagram so we can talk privately. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. have fun with your journey, guys. You know, one thing with me that I wish I would have done is I wish I would have just kind of like embraced it a little bit more. You know, I was always like, you know, panicking and worrying and all that stuff. So I wish I would have just been a little bit more relaxed, but I was also in grad school, so I was under a lot of stress. So, but yeah, just embrace your journey. You know, with me, you guys see, I posted on Instagram to show you and remind you guys, like, I started from the bottom. My hair was a hot mess. And, you know, I've been doing this for 3 years, but I've put in that work. I've put in that work. I've been consistent. I've been disciplined. So that's always the best advice I can give you guys. Stay consistent, stay disciplined with your journey, hold yourself accountable. It's very important that you're self-aware about, you know, your accountability, you know, and that's just the truth. But, you know, if you do those things, you're definitely going to go ahead and see the results that you guys want. I think with me entering this 3rd year in my journey, I'm just really excited with just how consistent I've been. And, you know, my focus right now is just making sure that my hair is healthy. I'm staying consistent, and I'm working on that length retention, you know, get that hang time, that you know, so that's what I'm working for. That's what I'm working on right now. But yes, I would definitely love to do another Q&A. If you guys want me to do more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, guys.